Hey everybody, Keenan Gray here from DyeStat.com, bringing you another DyeStat Discussions just ahead of the ASICS Sound Invite happening at JDL Fast Track this weekend in North Carolina. And I'm happy to be joined by two New Zealand athletes. Funny enough, they're both named Sam. Sam Tanner, Sam Ruthe, kind of on their little US tour around some of the best tracks in the country. Of course, they both just ran at the BU track. Sam Ruthe running one of the fastest miles of all time as a 16-year-old in 3:48. And Sam Tanner looking for a chance to get a world qualifier this weekend at JDL. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Really appreciate your time. How's your what would you call this adventure? Is it Sam and Ben, or is it the Sams and Ben? Like, what's this? Because I know Sam's dad, Ben Ruthe, is there as well.
Sam squared.
Yeah, and I feel like my dad's just a manager, to be honest. Like, he just sorts with all the boring problems.
Yeah, we
That's
got the
that's
junior,
awesome to hear.
junior
Go ahead.
mentor and manager.
Yeah, no, for sure. Go ahead and talk about, this opportunity to come over here. Obviously, Samuel Tanner has, raced in the United States for what, 8 years now. He ran at the University of Washington, and of course, coming here get opportunities as a pro. But, what's this opportunity been like to come over here and race together?
Yeah, it's cool. I think for me at least, it's nice to have someone to travel with, especially right from my doorstep to the east coast of the US. I've never done that before, so that's a bit of a change and really nice to, even just go on jogs wherever we are, whether it be on a treadmill in Boston or inside a car park, or out here in North Carolina. It's good to have company, and it's actually pretty cool to do it with a fellow Kiwi.
Yeah, anything you want to speak on that, Sam? Just, the opportunity to race with a guy that's, lived here for quite a bit of his time when he was in college, and now you get to experience this alongside him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be in the situation I would be in, obviously, without Tanner. And he just had so many, like, travel hacks and, like, so many little things that he's just taught me along the way, which definitely makes race day easier when it comes along. So, yeah, I'm very lucky to have such a great mentor.
Yeah. Well, I apologize for the cold weather that we've been having in the United States that you guys have had to deal with. I know it's your summer right now back home in New
Yeah.
Zealand, but I was just scrolling through Sam Tanner's Instagram the other day and I saw when you guys were in Boston, you guys were running in a car garage as part of your kind of your shakeout run because it was that cold. Have you guys adjusted to these climates, and how have how have they, I guess, affected your training stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Boston was absolutely freezing, so we decided to come base ourselves down in North Carolina because we're hoping it was going to be a bit warmer, and it's just starting to get a bit warmer now, so, it's just above freezing, which is nice, so, yeah, and it's meant to get even warmer tomorrow, which should be a great break.
Yeah, but we didn't really adjust that much. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone can adjust to Boston, but coming here has been great.
Yeah. Prior to that, that race at BU, let's talk about, that race in New Zealand before you guys came over here. Both of you guys run what, 352, 353. Obviously, of course, everyone's wondering, a 16-year running 353, amazing. Sam Tanner, you've obviously have established yourself already in the running world, but what did you guys take away from that race? And then, thinking about coming to Boston, it's going to be a much faster environment. What'd you guys take away from that outdoor race?
Well, it was pretty average conditions for most of the day at least, and then when we were running, it was still pretty gusty, and so we knew we'd be probably in better shape than that. Sammy here just loves to race, and it's cool because we get to go to Boston and compete against some of the best runners in the world, right? And you know, we were talking before the race about what we thought we could potentially run, what a good race, bad race, or exceptional race would be. And everyone's like, I'm probably even sure that you probably were like, oh, I don't know if I can run sub 350, but you're like
Yeah.
hopeful. But I'm like sitting over here going, man, I hope I can run sub 350, and I'm pretty sure I can. But if he can't, then I can't because we've been doing the exact same stuff for the last 3 months.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, as we talked before we started recording this, you said you got clipped a little bit during that race, so you weren't able to, finish that. But where do you think your fitness is at right now in terms of some of the workouts and some of the stuff you've been doing back home?
Oh, probably, what, I'd at least hope
Probably,
the same.
probably exactly the same as me, or maybe even better.
Yeah. Yeah, better than 348. Are we thinking 347?
Well,
I think 347 was definitely on the cards. Like,
well, off of what happened back in New Zealand, considering over 5K, Tanner absolutely smashed me. You know, put 5 seconds on me with 200 to go. And then over 800, it came down to like a photo finish. So theoretically, over a mile, he beat me in New Zealand by quite a bit in the last 100 meters. So if you really like put all that together, you would really expect Tanner to probably be at least with me or better than me over the mile.
it'd be a good race. I'm actually really disappointed that my Achilles said nah at BU because I think that last 200 would have been so awesome.
What part of the race did you drop out at?
Oh, like 2 laps in, like 400 in. It was literally the
Yeah.
first 400 meters I got clipped 3 times, and I was just like, then my Achilles on the third one was said nah.
Yeah, but I mean, despite being clipped, did you feel like, yeah, this is a day I could go pretty fast?
Yeah, yeah. As I was telling people afterwards, I was like, man, I wish I could have finished that race because, I mean, in 400 meters in, you always feel good. But like even Sammy in the warm up said to me, man, Tanner, you look poppy today. And I don't often feel that poppy. And when I do, I know that I run really well. And so, yeah, I felt better than I did in most of the races in New Zealand. So it would have been a really nice attempt.
Is that high school lingo back home there? Popping is like you got a 16-year-old and a 25-year-old. Like there's a 9 age difference between you guys. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's funny. We were with a little kid yesterday, and he's only 13, and I'm like, the difference is 9 years between us, and only 3 years between the 13-year-old. I said to Sammy, I'm like, who do you feel closer to, me or the 13-year-old? And I think, what do you reckon?
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I'm a young soul anyway, and I carry a lot of energy. So we hang out well.
Yeah. How long have you two been training together? I know you guys have under same coach, Craig Kirkwood, but yeah, how long have you guys been together?
I'd probably say we've only been training together for like a year. I mean,
Probably, yeah.
we've been in the same training squad for like 3 years, but I haven't really been like hanging on him in workouts probably until
Oh, the
a
last
year ago.
the last year has been most of our workouts have been together.
Yeah. And so how is this relationship built within either the last year or even the 3 years? Because I'm sure you guys, cross paths even when you're not even doing workouts together.
Well, I live on the other side of the bridge, so we have like our coach Craig has a rule that he never crosses the bridge unless he absolutely has to. But I live pretty much like the beach side, and Sammy lives in like the town like estuary waterway side. And so we don't run into each other that much because I don't come over the bridge unless I have to for training. But for workouts, yeah, we just link up 3 times a week.
Yeah, something like that.
And my long runs are significantly longer than Sammy's at this point anyway, so he's still doing little boy
Yeah.
stuff.
So, Sam Ruth, then when did you guys start training together and working alongside one another? Like when was that first workout?
I don't know.
I can't tell. Probably a year and a half ago was my first session with him, but I would have probably done a slightly different variation of the workout with him. Like for example, if it was 8 1Ks, I probably would have done like 5 or 6 with him like a year ago. But now basically our sessions look identical, which is nice.
Yeah, Craig has been really good at getting, because his group is so kind of like diverse in their ability. He's really good at just making everyone work together in some form. And so, we've got Julian who was doing marathon prep, and then these boys who were doing, New Zealand secondary schools prep in December. And we're on completely different paths in our training at the point in time. And we're all still doing some part of the workout together, which has been pretty cool.
Was there a workout that you could remember when you first hung with Sam Tanner and you're like, how am I able to do this? Or Sam Tanner's wondering, how is he able to do this? Like, has there ever been that thought where he's like, I got this 16-year-old hanging on with a guy in his mid-20s?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to tell for me because the sessions Craig gives aren't usually 100% effort. So when I'm hanging on to Sam Tanner, he's smooth and he's got such a rhythm to him. I'm like, I'm hanging on, but I can't tell if Tanner's trying like 50% or he's trying like 80%, So, it's really hard to put an exact moment where I was hanging on Tanner and Tanner was actually, like trying, but
No, I've got one though. And because I'm the one judging my effort, I'm like, man, this kid must be working like pretty close to his max right now. But we did Hilly Loops of Death, which is Craig's. It's about a 2 mile loop over 3 hills, and we kind of treat it as like a fartlek. And when did we do that? Like November or something.
yeah.
And I'd like to say that I'm pretty good over hills, and that sort of kind of fits into my wheelhouse quite well. And he's hanging on, and the first 2 laps we do 3 laps, and I'm like, man, we're going quite hard here. And then in the last lap, Sammy's like pushing it up the hill, and I'm like, ooh, okay. And then not backing off on the flats up the top. And I was like, oh, this is like, I'm working really hard right now, and this is really impressive. Like Sammy's showing some really good strength, which was kind of a not a shock to the system, but usually I usually break him over the longer stuff, but he was just like hanging on throughout the longer stuff, and I was like, oh, we're on for a good season this year.
Yeah, and then of course, you guys race that mile outdoors, and then he's just a second right behind you. So, Sam Roof, to your point, like knowing that you said you have no idea if he's at 50 or 80% in those workouts. When you are in a race though, and you're that close to him, is there a sense of confidence that builds up? It's like, yeah, I can hang with guys like a Sam Tanner or some of the best pros in the world.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm racing, I don't really think at all. But before the race now, I always, just put myself in the position which I can perform at just above the level which I think I'm capable of, which I feel like is really, really a good way of having breakout races and, racing to the best of my ability. So every race that I'm in now that I'm a 3:48 guy, I feel like gives me the right opportunity, to get high up in any single field. No matter the strength of it, and hopefully be able to hang on and get pulled through to some fast times.
Yeah. So the two races that you've had in the United States have been kind of completely different type of races. One of them, of course, being at Arcadia when you ran that 3,200, and that was more of a tactical type of race. And, that was really your first experience racing against, guys your age in the United States. And then you come to Boston and just blow everybody out of the water. I mean, what are some differences and what some similarities do you see between those races that, you know, one could probably have helped you improve from that Arcadia race to this last weekend at BU?
Yeah, I mean, going to Arcadia, it was right at the end of my season, so it was April, and my season that year started in like early November, so it was a very, very long season, I guess. And as my season goes on, my strength kind of drops a bit. So by the time I was at Arcadia, I don't think I had the strength that I thought I had. So it was definitely rough, and I don't think I raced to the fullest of my ability, and I'm a lot stronger now. So yeah, it's a lot different to when I raced Arcadia. So I think what I took from that race is I need to make sure I don't lose too much fitness during the season, and I need to reduce the length of my season so I can be able to be racing at my maximum capacity every single race.
How do you explain running a 3:48 at 16 years old? I mean, Sam Tanner's smiling about that right now because I can't, like, I know what I was doing at 16 years old, and it was certainly not running that fast.
Neither.
I'm sure Sam Tanner could say the same thing about that. I mean, how can you describe what that's like as a 16-year-old running 3:48?
I don't. That's a tricky question because that I don't know what it's not like. So it's so it's hard really to say what it is like, but it's a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, at that moment in time in that race, did you know that something was going to happen like that, or was that just kind of a spur of the moment type of thing?
Yeah, I knew that I was in good shape, but I didn't know how the travel had gone really. So, there was a chance of, racing good, but I wasn't really expecting to run that. I was a little bit of me was expecting to run that fast, but yeah, that was just if the travel went perfectly, which I guess it did. So, yeah.
I knew he was going to run that fast because I thought I could run that fast, but I
Hmm.
don't think anyone else knew he could run that fast.
Hmm.
And it's been a pretty cool journey watching him do workouts with me, because I'm like, he doesn't doubt himself, and we're both just there to get like more competitive with each other, but also like be sensible in training. But having him has actually helped me in an incredible way too, because he comes up to any race and goes, why can't I win this race? Like, I'm just gonna give it a crack, and it's actually helped me go, oh yeah, I'm the pro here. I should be thinking the same. And so it's having him having this like immeasurable competitiveness has helped me be way more competitive too. And so I'm like, it's a cool relationship because I'm getting benefit off him and he's getting benefit off me.
Yeah. So going into this weekend, of course, you both are facing the Olympic champion at this distance. Has that sense of confidence from Sam Ruthe help you going into a race like this, Sam Tanner, especially, BU did not go as well as you wanted to. You got clipped a couple times, but, the fact that you got Sam, who has all the confidence in the world, it seems like, especially after that BU race, like, how can that not, how can I not channel that going into a meet like this where, you got the Olympic champion, you got Cooper Teare in there as well, but, who knows what the possibilities are for this mile race?
Yeah, no, you said it better than we could. Who knows what the possibilities are? We, are on a high right now, and I'm kind of riding off the back of his high. And yeah, I was going to give it a crack.
Yeah, and this is opportunity for you to get the world standard as well. The opportunity is there. It's just about executing it at this point. So you're pretty confident that this weekend for both you guys. I'm not saying Sam Roof's going to run faster than 3:58, although I could be completely or 3:48. I could be completely wrong, but like is this an opportunity where you both do something pretty special for New Zealand?
I think so.
I think this is definitely a great opportunity, and yeah, I feel like as long as the track's just as fast and everything goes right, there's literally no reason why I don't run faster than last week.
Yeah.
And then same with Tanner. Like,
And we've had more of a taper and things now too, so it'll be, yeah. If the race plays out how we want it to play out, it'll be an awesome opportunity.
So if you're thinking that you could go faster this week, then what's something different you would do from BU? Because how do you because it seems like BU was just perfect. Like everything was perfect, but maybe not.
Well, he still had to go around someone and close a gap to Peter Sisk.
yeah, I mean, I was probably only on someone's back for probably like 70% of the race or something like that, where I was honestly like I could turn my brain off. So that wasn't too much of the race, I guess. But just travel and stuff. Like if you take the travel out of our legs, we'll race a lot better. And then it's like as the season goes on, each race kind of stacks on top of each other, and your body gets more used to running at that pace, and it adapts race to race. That's why you see improvements through the season the more you race. But it's just whether that base isn't dropping as much through the taper. So yeah, it's a combination of things, but it's looking like they're definitely like, especially for Tanner, because Tanner's season's only just really started. So the benefits he'll be getting through sharpening up through the races are definitely a lot higher than mine. So race to race, yeah, you can definitely see some good improvements.
Yeah. I also want to talk about the fact that, the Oceanic runners right now, Cam Myers, of course, from Australia, Jess Holes doing her thing. There seems to be, just an elevation in running. And of course, it's happening in the United States too. But, what do you guys attest to that the fact that, people are getting faster in New Zealand and Australia and all those oceanic states. And that's the only, probably seems like the best way to compete with the entire world is let's get faster.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it, right? Like we look at the US and we just go, we're a small country, but what's stopping us from being as good as you guys, or as being as good as the rest of the world? And I think that's a mentality. And now we've got the training partners to do it, and so there's nothing really getting in the way. We've got the resources, we've got the coaching, we've got the facilities, and physios and stuff are just as good, if not better. Like I've found a lot of the time that you got to go see a specialist or someone in the US to be just as good as a physio in New Zealand. And so, yeah, we've got great capabilities and resources to help us run fast. So we're just, I guess, feeding off each other, and we can look at guys like Cam Myers and I don't know, Adam Spencer, Ollie, whoever, and just channel that and go, yeah, we can race you.
Yeah, like especially for me, the thing that you know, switched my mindset to what is actually possible is when I saw Cooper Lukenhouse run 142, and I was like, oh my gosh, this makes me seem trash. Like, I I really need to work on what I'm doing here and get a lot better. So, when you see a performance like that, you're like, well, if he can do that, surely I can run better than 358 in the mile or something like that, because that just makes me feel trash compared to 142.
Well, and I can remember when you raced at Pre last year and just, being on that stage for the first time. Like, that was your first chance to really race against pros. And I know Sam Tanner was in that race too. And I just, you did break 4 minutes in that race, but it was like you were just so far behind everybody else in that race. And now, you look back, what is it, a couple months later, 6 months later since Pre, and you're one of the fastest guys in the entire world. So a lot has changed, I guess, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel like just going to pre, like 2 weeks before I was racing cross country, and it's kind of like what I was saying. Like as the season goes on, your body gets more used to running at certain paces, and with that being my season opener, the legs weren't switched on as much as they should have been, and the pace definitely felt like a bit of a shock. And yeah, 2 weeks later, I started seeing some improvements around 339, which is at least a bit better than four flat, but yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome to see you guys working together and continuing to pursue your own goals. And you can give me some bias towards this as well. What do you think, Sam Tanner, that Cooper and Sam, what would they throw down in the 1K?
Well, time wise, or who would win?
Who would win? What would they run?
Well, I reckon that they'd both run like 215 at least. And I reckon Sammy. I got to back my boy. I think Sammy will come out on top because I've seen his wheels firsthand. And they may not be 142 wheels yet, but he's got freaking crazy strength. So I think he'd hang on. You can't drop him. That's the thing. You'll never drop him. He'll only blow up in like the last 200 maybe. But it wouldn't happen over a K.
And you've experienced this probably during practice as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and the 800 where he came flying past me on the back straight. I was like, what the heck?
Hey, you have your strengths and he's got his strengths. And that's what makes you guys both better as runners. And plus, you guys can settle this little debate this weekend at JDL because Cooper's going to be racing this weekend as well. So maybe you guys can maybe set something up there and we can go from there. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, guys, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on all the success so far. Both of you guys continue to do great things, and hopefully that continues this weekend at JDL Fast Track when you guys race Cole Hocker and Cooper Teare in that mile. Of course, everybody can catch the ASICS Sound invite on runnerspace.com February 14th. Really appreciate your time, Sams. Best of luck this weekend in North Carolina.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.